Welcome to another writing vlog. I am so excited because I finally have a huge chunk of time that I can truly dedicate to writing. I have about the next 2.5 days and I have nothing on my calendar except writing. And yes, I am back at my house again. The good news is I'm back at my house because it is moving day part 2. I already moved up with my car and all the important things. This week, the movers are coming to pack up my house and pack up my furniture, put it in the truck, and drive it up to my new place. So I came down a few days early. I spent the last 2 days packing. Everything loose has been packed in a box, and all that needs to happen now is the heavy stuff like my furniture. The movers will be coming from 2 days from now, so I have the next 2 days to myself, and I don't really have anything to do because everything is packed. Everything's packed. Usually when I've been coming back to my house, I'm freaking out because I have so much stuff left to do before I get packed. I've been rereading old books when I come back and visit, and I can't do that anymore. There's literally nothing to do. Like, I can't even turn on I can turn on my TV, but I can't watch anything because my Fire Stick is packed. Literally, all I can do is be on my phone or be on my computer. And the weather tomorrow is going to be really bad, which means it's going to be a perfect day to stay in and write. It's supposed to rain like 2 inches or something crazy like that. And I love rainy days because it just gets me in the creative mood. So I think tomorrow will be really, really good. But tonight, I am looking forward to starting my writing. I did have some time to think about where I'm going next on my plane ride down here. And it's really interesting because I realized, while I was thinking things over, that I need to really rewrite this sequence of scenes that I'm writing right now. And a lot of it has to do with stakes. I've seen this mentioned several times, and it's like you always have to have something at stake with your character. And while they are doing something that is related to the stakes, the stuff that the characters are doing right now, there's just no stakes involved. And I've kind of realized that, and so I have to do something to my writing that adds stakes. I have an idea of how to do it, but that means I would have to go back and rewrite everything I just wrote. And since it's the first draft, I do not want to rewrite anything at this point. Rewriting can always happen in the second draft, especially like as I continue writing, I may be able to come up with some better ideas as how to address everything I just wrote. So I'm going to continue writing the scenes, maybe add a little more stakes to it, and just take it from there. I am excited to see how the next few days go. I have not had this considerable chunk of time to dedicate to writing in probably the last 2 to 3 months. I have been so busy with preparing for the move, preparing to get my house on the market for selling, preparing both my new place and my old place and doing all that stuff. And so I just have had pretty much zero time over the last few months to really, really focus on writing. And I've missed it a lot. And so I'm really happy to have this time to get back into it. I do have a few errands to run throughout the week, but I don't think it's going to really impact my writing too much. It's just like an hour here or there, kind of normal stuff. So this is going to be kind of like my first opportunity where I'm not really distracted by anything because I don't really have the opportunity to be distracted. There's nothing to do here. And since I'm not in my new place, I can't do anything at my new place either. So I really have 2.5 days of peace, which is, I can't remember the last time that happened. So I'm going to enjoy it thoroughly and write a ton. I'm really excited to see how much word count I get over the next few days. I'm hoping I can make up a little bit for some or a lot of lost time. Okay, I'm going to write a little bit. It's getting close to dinner time. I want to get started before I eat dinner, and then that way I can focus on writing for the rest of the night. Sorry, the lighting is not the best, but my lamp is packed, so all I have is this little spotlight thing over my fireplace, or it would be very harsh overhead lighting, so we're gonna go with this. So tonight I had a really productive night. I wrote 1,360 words. That brought me to a total of 72,977 words. I am moving right along. Today was so nice. This is the first time that I have really been able to sit down and focus on my writing. Yes, I had some kind of random thoughts and things I had to do here and there, but overall, this is the first time that like the story was really flowing for me and I wasn't really being distracted by anything or feeling like I should be doing something else. It honestly felt like when I was writing like 2 or 3 months ago, when I was writing every day really consistently, that's what it felt like. And it was so refreshing to just be in that peaceful headspace of writing and not having to worry about anything else. I will say the comfort factor is already affecting me. Yes, I'm on my couch and I love my couch. It's super comfortable, but my pillows are gone. They're packed. So all I have is this one pillow, which I'm not packing because that's the pillow I'm sleeping on. So this wasn't super comfortable because I was leaning really far back. So I'm already feeling like the lack of comfort and the lack of my things, which is what I've struggled with in my apartment. Like I have this candle, but it's probably going to get thrown out like tomorrow or the next day. You know, my TV is disconnected. I'm listening to music on my phone. And then it's just like, I don't have really anything else around to inspire me. But again, have to make do with what you got. And this is much better than that folding camper chair I've been using in my apartment. I cannot wait to get all of my stuff in one place. I think that will make such a huge difference in the way I write, because I have just noticed, especially through this back and forth and everything and the different situations that I've been in, that when I am comfortable, I am write so much better. And when I'm uncomfortable and stressed out, I just can't focus on writing. I have been still writing better here than at my apartment, but I truly believe it's because I have nothing comfortable to sit on in my apartment. Here I've got my couch. I can get a good night's sleep on a decent mattress, and I have all my cooking utensils are still here for the most part, and it's just so much easier to live day to day in my house still than it is in my apartment. Now that is gonna be flipped in a few weeks and all my stuff will finally be in my apartment. And I'm just hoping that I can kind of settle in and get into a nice routine. I do know it's probably going to take forever to get unpacked, but I will try my best. As far as writing goes, I did have an emotional night. I surprise myself sometimes, and sometimes I do cry when I write. And normally I'm not like an overly emotional person, and I don't tend to share that stuff on social media. I just think it's important because, you know, the whole purpose, like, to me, books that I really enjoy are books that make me emotional and that, you know, that hit something, you know, within you. And just me writing something and getting emotional makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. You know, the writing itself probably isn't great and may not do the best job at conveying the emotions that I wanted to convey, but I could feel them as I was writing. So that makes me believe that at some point in one of my many drafts, I will be able to convey that feeling accurately. This is the second time, I think, in this draft that this has happened. I did cry when I was writing. Like, honestly, like, I was like the third or fourth chapter, and I still remember it was very, very weird. Like, I was writing it and it made me cry, and I was like, I didn't expect to, like, I didn't plan to make that happen. You know, this was planned, right? The one I was writing tonight, it was planned to be kind of an emotional scene. So I didn't necessarily know that, you know, crying would be involved, but I knew it was gonna be very emotional. The first scene that I wrote way, way back in the beginning that made me cry, it became emotional, but I did not have the intention of it getting that way. It just kind of came out. But this one was planned. I'm glad that I was able to kind of work through that and that I was feeling kind of the emotions that I wanted to convey. So hopefully that gets kind of strengthened in the next few drafts. I think that's it for tonight. I have been writing for about 2 hours and I was pretty productive. I was happy with my writing. I was really in the zone. Tonight was actually a really nice night and I'm happy about that. Tomorrow, I need to decide. What I tend to do now is decide what I'm going to do the next day. I decide that the night before. So tonight, while I'm getting ready for bed, I'm going to think about what I want to do tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and then I have some errands to run. So how will I work, incorporate those into my day. I also do need to start editing a YouTube video. I remembered that earlier. So I may incorporate that tomorrow as well. Because I don't think I'm gonna write the whole day just because I do have other things I can do. And I find that I do better if I mix things up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for bed, and I will see you tomorrow. Thought it would be good to do a little midday check-in. I have had a super productive day, and honestly, the day's not even over, and I think this might be the most productive day I've had in months. This morning I ran errands. I actually decided to write this morning. I wasn't going to, but when I got back from running errands, I had some free time before lunch. So I said, why don't I go ahead and write for like an hour? I had actually sat in bed this morning because it wasn't time to go run my errands yet. I had to wait for the place to open. So I decided to just lay in bed and kind of run through some scenes and scenarios in my head. And I came up with some really good things. And I said, I want to write this before it goes away. So I did. And in 1 hour, I wrote almost 900 words. That's a really great word count for an hour. And, I'm almost at 1,000 words for the day, and I haven't even really started writing a lot yet today. But anyway, after lunch, I edited a YouTube video and completely finished it in a few hours, and that's done. And then I went through all the stuff I'm going to donate. I took an inventory for my taxes, and that is ready to go to Goodwill tomorrow. I just did all this stuff, and I was so productive, and I feel like I was more productive today than I've been in months. Especially when you look at my word count. It was like 880 something words in an hour. I haven't been writing, I don't remember the last time I wrote that much in an hour. Honestly, I've been writing that much in like 2 or 3 hours. I sat back this morning and I was just like, what is making me so productive today? Like, I am just able to finish everything, knock everything out, do multiple things in one day. And I was just like, what is it about today that is so different than the last few months? And it really is the move. It really is the move. Today is the first day in a very long time that I have not had to do something for the move. I haven't had to organize anything, call anyone, do anything physically. As you can see, everything's already packed. There's boxes. There's literally nothing for me to physically do at this house. Everything's packed, everything's ready to go. I am just waiting on movers to show up and take this stuff away. And so I think part of that is I literally have nothing to do, so I have time to do all this stuff that's been kind of like backlogged and pushed to the side. Like, I had time to write this morning. I had time to work on my YouTube video. I have plenty of hours tonight that I can write. And it's just really refreshing to me and exciting at the same time because, as I said, I have not been this energized in months. And it makes me really hopeful that I can have more days like this, that things will be a little bit more calm, that I can really focus on my writing and focus on YouTube. It has been such a long time since I've been able to do that I've actually been kind of second guessing myself and have been wondering like if there's something wrong with my productivity in terms of writing. Like, do I need to try something different because I'm not able to focus? I'm not able to put out high word counts. I've been second guessing increasing the amount of YouTube videos I post every week because I'm like, gosh, that's even more work. And I'm already having trouble making things work as they are. And I was just really kind of in this down mood over the last few weeks because I just wasn't really sure if I was doing things correctly. And today really showed me that I can do it. I just haven't had time to do it. Now I can actually not be upset at myself if I find myself in the situation of low productivity in terms of word count. But now I'm actually really hopeful for the future. because the move stuff will wind down. A week from now, my furniture will be at my apartment, and then I won't really have anything left to do for the move. I will have to unpack, which is gonna suck. I hate unpacking, but at least I can do that on my own time, and there's not a timeline associated with it. Like, I always knew what day the movers were coming, so there was like a deadline of getting everything done then. There was a deadline of when I was putting my house on the market, so I had to get the house ready by a certain time. Pretty much from this point forward, there's not going to be any more deadlines for me to adhere to with anything, really. And so that means my time is pretty much now my own. It'll probably still be a few weeks before it truly is, but it was just really enlightening today to be able to do what I needed to do, pursue the activities I wanted to pursue, have no stress, no distractions. I was so mentally in the game when I was writing. I was mentally in it when I was editing my YouTube video. I feel reinvigorated, like I can do this and I'm ready to do this. And I do want to say, I quit my job a month and a half ago so I could have days like today. This is actually the first day I think I've ever had like this since I quit my job. It is the first day where all I'm doing is writing and working on YouTube with zero distractions. And it's really nice. And I think this is part of the reason why I'm so happy right now, because over the last few weeks, I have been telling people, my personal life, I'm just so frustrated because I quit my job so I could have more time to explore writing and explore content creation. And I've had zero time to do it. And I feel like I'm making no progress. And at times I would tell people, I feel like I wasted this opportunity. I feel like this opportunity may not pan out in my favor, to be determined. But today gave me that first look and that first insight into, if I do writing and content creation full time, this is what my day could look like, and this is what my week could look like, and this is what I could accomplish in a day. And that's really helpful for me and can guide me over the next several weeks to better plan my days and figure out what works for me. And I'm just really looking forward to this kind of next part of the journey. So with all that being said, I still have hours of time tonight to write. I am really beside myself. I have not had such a huge chunk of time at my disposal for writing in months, and I'm really looking forward to it. I will be playing music on my phone. I still have my candle. I decided not to throw it out. Today was trash day. So I'm gonna set myself up as best as I can tonight, even though I don't have all my creature comforts available. And I am just going to write and write and write and see how far this goes. I have the next several series of scenes planned, and I know what's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna run out of material tonight. I don't think I'm gonna get stuck. I think it is gonna be like a write-a-thon. I'm ready to get into this. I have about another hour, hour and a half before I will probably be hungry and eat dinner. So I will go ahead and get some writing in before then. It's the end of the night, and I did have a very productive night. I have ended this total day, oops, I hit the camera. I've ended this total day at 3,141 words. So 3,000 words in one day, which, when is the last time I did that? February 22nd, so 3 months ago, I had a 4,000 word day. So it's been 3 months since I've been this productive. I understand and I know why, but it makes me so happy to have another productive day after so long. Considering I wrote almost 900 words this morning, that means this evening I wrote about 2,200 words. I think my math is right on that. Another fun fact is my total word count is 76,118, and that means I passed 75,000 words, which means I am officially 3/4 of the way done with my book, 75%. I feel like today I hit tons of milestones and I was really productive. Overall, I am thrilled with the results from today. I can't imagine today having gone any better. I got to write a scene I had been thinking about writing quite honestly since like the beginning of the book. So I always get really excited when I get to write those original scenes or the things I thought of before I started writing. I had a lot of fun with it. I changed a little bit of stuff up as I was writing, but overall it was a pretty smooth experience just writing nonstop. I needed to stop because it's getting late. I am getting tired and I'm gonna go to bed, and I will see you tomorrow. Decided to switch things up a little bit today and do an afternoon writing session. And I know I always say afternoons are a terrible time for me to write, and they are, and today proved that again. But that actually ended up being the only time I could write today. This morning I had to run some more errands, and then I had the afternoon off, and I decided to go to ballet class tonight. And so since I will be at ballet class, I will not have time to write. I had to write in the afternoon. And I knew going into this that it wasn't going to be a high word count day, that it wasn't going to be super productive, but at least like I knew that. So there was nothing to be frustrated about. So let's talk word counts for this afternoon and the entirety of this vlog. So today I wrote 446 words, and that brought me to a 3-day total of 4,947. For 3 days, actually it was more like 2 days because it was 48 hours. I started on Sunday night. I had all day Monday, and today's Tuesday, and I'm stopping in the afternoon. So technically in 48 hours, I wrote 4,947 words. We're going to round that up to 5,000 for simplicity's sake. I truly don't think I have been that productive in a very, very long time. I'm actually going to look because I'm curious. Yeah, it's been months. It's hard for me to tell. I had one day where I wrote 4,000 words in a day. And then there was another, what appears to be a weekend, where I wrote like around 3,500 words. Yeah, so 3 days or 2 days, technically, 5,000 words. That's insane. Again, I truly believe that this is because this is the first time I've had to sit back and relax and really focus on writing. I'm really looking forward to the future, like the next few weeks and months, to see how far I get and how productive I am. If I can maintain this level of productivity, I really can finish this book really quickly. Because I mean, I'm at like, let's see, my total word count today was 76,564. So I have 24,000 words left to make this a complete novel. I suspect I will go over it because I still have quite a bit of story to tell, but that's okay because I knew that was going to happen, and I'm going to cut a significant portion of the beginning once I do my revisions. I'm just really grateful that I had this time to dedicate to writing and that it went really well, and it's the first time I've had to really be in like full-time writer mode, and it's been great. I know it was only like 2 days, but still, it was really nice to not be distracted by everything and to get what I needed to done and to do what was important. So I will be calling it a night because, like I said, I'm going to ballet class. The movers are coming tomorrow to pack my furniture and put everything on the truck and take it to my new place. I am so thrilled about this. I have been living too long in 2 different places. I am just counting down the days till I have all my stuff in my apartment. And until then, I will continue to write. Course, it just probably won't be as productive because I've really found that I do better at writing when I'm comfortable and I have my things and I'm not distracted. So this will probably go on for about another week, 1 to 2 weeks, because I do have to unpack. You know, everything's not going to be magically there and available to me. I will have to unpack everything. But once everything is settled in a few weeks, I truly believe that I will be able to really go full steam ahead on this book.